Hey guys, I wanted to post a video of me changing these stepper motors in my little 3D printer, and I kind of thought maybe I'd do a little short review of the printer as well. So I have a Easythreed K1 3D printer. It has a 4" by 4" by 4" build area. My daughter gave it to me. Um, I've had it for about 6 months. When she gave it to me, it wasn't working properly. I had to spend 2 months at least figuring out how to make it work. Um, uh, when I got to the point where I finally figured out what was wrong, the problem was the power supply. The power supply was not producing enough power or voltage to the printer itself. The printer requirements is 12 volts at 2.5 amps, and it needs to maintain up to 30 watts. And so when I found all that out, I figured it out. I said, okay, well, being a machinist and mechanic for the past 30 years, I know a little bit about that stuff. So I checked out my power supply and realized that it was not producing that kind of voltage, and it only made it to about 9 volts. Most of the time, the print would start and just stop. It would get a minute into it and it would just stop. And then I started digging through my stash of power supplies, and I would find one I thought was close, but it just wouldn't work. And so finally, it got to the point where I just ended up ordering a power supply, and that solved my problem, and it's been working ever since. It's been printing fine. Now this is this one was given to me by my daughter, but it's my understanding she paid like $65-$75 for it, and it it's the smallest one you can get, cheapest one you can get, and it it does okay. It's not a terrible printer. I mean, it does all right. I've made some modifications to it. I was having a lot of problems with the print sticking to the bed properly, and bed adhesion problems, and so I've made some changes since I've had it. And I'll try to give you a little bit of that, a snapshot of that before I go taking it apart on what I did to it. And then also, I had this problem ever since I got it to start working. It just clicks. It just makes this clicking noise, and it drives me nuts. And finally, I messaged the manufacturer, Easythreed. I made a little video clip and sent it to them with the email, and they replied and said that the clicking noise is coming from the stepper motors themselves inside the stepper motors, and they said that they were coming out with an upgraded stepper motor, and they said to allow 30 days. They sent me a link and said to order them after 30 days, and the new upgraded stepper motor would be available. So I have the new motor right here. I have 3 of them. They sent me 3 of them. I ordered 2, and they were $4 each. And like I said, I did all this myself. I didn't get nothing from them. The upgraded motor is a 264Z part number on the motor itself. The motor in the unit right now is something else. I don't remember what, but it's something different. So these are supposed to be supposedly upgraded motors from Easythreed, from the manufacturer. I ordered them through AliExpress, which the link they sent me took me right to AliExpress. And so I ordered 2, and they sent me 3. I'm fine with that, so I'll take it. So let's go ahead and get on. I'll stop this portion and restart it, and let's go ahead and I'll show you what I did to the printer to try to make it a little bit better, and then we'll start tearing into it. We're going to change the X and Y axis stepper motors. The Z axis we're leaving alone because they don't click. They don't really move as much, so they don't make any noises. And we're going to leave the extruder stepper motor alone as well. I don't believe there's an issue with it. Just the we're only changing the X and Y axis. The printer, it's lightweight. It's a pretty light little printer. I mean, I'm sure you guys have all seen them. Not many videos on YouTube about them. Not a lot of information about them. So I thought I'd give you a little information. It's got what they call a TF card insert, and it's also got a spot for a USB cable. It works great with Kira. Everything seems to work. I have the newest version of Kira, and it takes the G code from Kira just fine. Everything works. It's got the card reader. Actually, my card is still in there. There's my card. Don't want to lose that. The card that came with it, by the way, that my daughter gave to me with it was bad. The card was no good, so I ended up having to buy a new card. This is a 32 gigabyte card, and it seems to work fine. One of the changes I made is I took the magnetic bed that it had on it originally. I took that off, and then I made a glass bed for it. And then also the other thing I did is I felt it had some rigidity issues. I'm a machinist, and so I made an aluminum plate for it rather than plastic. The one that came off of it was plastic. What came with it was plastic, and there was issues when I was trying to level the bed. Let me show you that. I'm going to get the old one. Hold on. Here's the old base plate to the bed. So I made a piece of aluminum that's the same thickness, which was 1/8 of an inch. I re-drilled all the holes in it and I just duplicated this pretty much, but in aluminum, and that seemed to help a lot of my issues that I was having with bed leveling. It made a difference. The springs, I actually, in trying to figure out the printer, I screwed up the springs, so right now I'm just using some little rubber pieces in there as spacers, or the rubber pieces are the springs, and it seems a little bit easier to level the bed when I put that aluminum plate in there. So I'm going to set you up in this little camera holder or phone holder I made. You can see it in my last video. I made it for my wife, and I asked her if I could borrow it for a bit. So I'm gonna borrow it, and I'm gonna see if I can make it work for this video. And I'm going to go ahead and start tearing into the printer to change out those two stepper motors. Okay, I think I got it. I'm going to leave you right there, and I'm going to go ahead and take these motors out. I think I'm going to do the easiest motor first, which is the back one. Actually, going to have to undo this front. We're going to have to undo this front piece here, I'm sure. I'm undoing the stepper motor screws right now. It should fall right out after I take these out. Yeah, it just fell. I just heard it. There's the stepper motor right there. The old stepper motor number, part number, is a 264, no Z, so there's no letter Z. The new one is a 264Z, the old one is a 264. Okay, so we're going to change the bottom one out first. It's got a little convenient plug right there. And we're just going to take and plug this one right into that spot. I need my glasses. Let's check you and see what you're doing. You're still recording. 264Z. We're going to take and plug you in here. Alright, that's plugged in. This come off of here. This needs to go with that. These stepper motors, the new stepper motors, actually have a screw in them. The old ones didn't. I'm just inserting the belt in there and I'm putting the stepper motor in. Make sure the belt's on the pulley. I'm just putting the screws back in the motor, making sure that I get them in there. I have the pulley on. think it's in there. I think I got it. Okay, so that bottom stepper motor is in. It seems to be moving like it's supposed to. There's all kinds of debris on this old stepper motor, and it actually is the armature on the old stepper motor is actually sitting over to one side. I wonder what that's about. That's surprising. Let me see if I can show you that. This is the one that come out of it. Look at that. See how that armature is sitting to one side? Isn't that a trip? That's a little surprising. So I'm going to continue on to the other one, and you'll be able to see a little bit of that. Got to leave the bottom off of it because I'll have to unhook that wire. Okay, so we're changing the other one now. I see a small zip tie I'm going to have to clip. What do I have to clip the zip tie with? I found a pair of cutters. Okay, so I can clip that zip tie. And I think I have some more zip ties around. So I'll clip that. I'm going to take these screws off this back cover. I imagine that cover's got to come off of there. Well, I might leave that cover off so I can get more air cooling in there. Because these motors get pretty darn hot, I noticed. So see that cover there, I just took it off and they get hot in there. So let's undo this. Oh, you know what? I don't think I need to undo that all the way. Alright. Let's go ahead and... okay. We'll do that screw first. Well, that's kind of in there, kind of funny. There we go. Also, something I noticed when I was working with this printer, trying to figure out what was wrong with it, the motors themselves were actually loose in the housings, which kind of surprised me a little. But I don't know, they still seem to work okay. They were just loose. Okay, that one come out. So that one's got a screw in it. The other one didn't. That's interesting. Oh, hey, look at that. That's easy. Alright, well, maybe I didn't have to leave that cover on there. Alright, so there's the other one. And we got a new motor for it, so we're going to get the other one. Plug it into that extension. Alright. Goes that way. Like so. Alright. This was like that. And that wire's sure. Good. Well, that went in okay. Get those tightened up. Might be an easier change out than I thought. Alright, that's tight. And then we just need to pull this belt tight. Let's get some slack out of these screws here before I pull that tight, because I got them too loose. I'd like to maybe print a benchy. I think what I'll do is I'll get it set up and leveled up, and then maybe we'll start a print and we can listen to it real quick and see if it's quieted down. And then maybe I'll put a clip in this video of it making noise, which I believe I still have. Feels different. Alright. So I think this cover I think I'm going to leave off. I don't think it needs to be on there.
Do you want some Roman candles?
No, son, I don't. I'm going to leave that off because I think it would make sense to get more air in there. Okay, there's the two motors that come out. Already got them taken out, and you know, that was way easier than I thought it was going to be. But there's the printer back together. Belts are retensioned. Took it out, put the cover on the bottom back on. It was just the 4 screws. This motor here, I decided to leave that little cover off. I don't really think I need it. But I'm going to check the bed level real quick, and I think I'll plug it into the USB port and just move it manually with Kira and see what it sounds like. I'll bring you back when I'm ready for that. Alright, so now the printer is connected to Kira. There's the printer. If I change it to 100 and I go up, oh, that's the X and Y axis. Ooh, that sounded pretty good. Hold on a second. I think I had a little bit of a problem for a second, so I had to check something. Let's see if it moves now. Something's acting up a little bit. Oh, there it went. I don't hear any clicking. Let's try homing it. Well, that might try causing a problem in the future. But it does seem to be working. It's not making any noises or anything. So I'm kind of doing all right now with it. All right, well, I'm going to prepare a quick print. I'm going to do a benchy or something, and I'll bring you back to see that in a second and see what it looks like. The motor new stepper motors are warming up a little bit. That was something with the other ones that I didn't like because they got really hot. But let me go ahead and set up a print, and I'll bring you back for that, and then we'll probably call the video done. Alright, it's getting ready to start. I did a calibration cube. I had a hard time leveling the bed. I noticed this printer decides to change its height every once in a while. It just does it on its own. I'm not too sure why. But so far, first layer's going down okay. It seems to be printing. It's quiet. It's not clicking. I'm going to insert the clicking video into it so you guys can hear it too, before and after kind of thing. But right now, I don't hear no clicking. I did a course print, so it should be a little faster. It said 9 minutes. Well, I'm not going to make you sit and watch the whole thing, though. But if I hear any clicking or anything, I'll let you know. If it's nice and quiet through the print, I'll show you the calibration cube. And I think we'll call that the end of the video. But right now, it's running quiet. It's not the best looking print though, but I did fairly coarse print, so it wasn't intended on really being a great print or nothing, but it's just a test to see how the stepper motors worked out on it. But I don't see no layer shift, which is a good thing, but it's just kind of rough. But anyways, it was quieter. I didn't hear any clicking noise. I'm going to insert a copy of that that footage I have where it's clicking real bad, and you'll be able to hear it. And we'll go from there. All right, like, subscribe, and hit that bell, and we will talk to you later. I hope you like it. Thank you.